Good morning. Glad you could join us. I want to share something that I picked up from James Montgomery Boyce, and I didn't say it the other day, but when I talked about spiritual warfare on Tuesday, I picked up some ideas from the same book that day, Come to the Waters by Boyce, and a whole lot of my own original thoughts as well. In Philippians chapter 1, a fantastic verse, he who began a good work in you will bring it to completion at the day of Jesus Christ. Do you have any unfinished projects? I do. I have unfinished books. I do try very hard to get back and finish every one. But God doesn't have any. And God began a good work in your life. Talked about it this past Sunday that miracles, there's 37, at least 37 that are chronicled in the Gospels that Jesus performed. Miracles are kind of like, bing, they happen like that. But as far as God developing His character, about dealing with our character defects, our growth areas, that takes time. It's a process. The process is called sanctification. I like defining sanctification, which is like a big, long theological term, simply the process by which we become like Jesus. But it takes time. It's not going to happen overnight. Boyce says that when he was a kid, he went to a summer camp, Christian camp up in Canada. And this one summer, he guessed there was this other student that was up there. He was watching him learn how to climb a telephone pole. So I guess what had happened was some students couldn't afford to go. So they said, hey, if you do some work while you're up here, we'll cover your cost. And so one of the ways that he was going to pay, or at least partially pay, was he was going to have to do some wiring. Stringing wires. So this is a long time ago. I just really can't imagine this happening today. But first he had to learn how to climb the pole. And I think this is a really good analogy for our spiritual life. To climb the pole, it reminds me a little bit about rappelling. You've got like this leather strap and it's on the other side and it goes behind your back. And then you got these spikes in your shoes that dig in. Well, you can imagine if you're going up like this, your spikes are pointed down, you're not going to really get into the wood. So it's counterintuitive. To go up, you don't hug the pole, stay close to it, you get away from it, you lean back, and then your feet can go in, and then you can just kind of walk up. Well, he watched this student doing this, and eventually he'd get up just a little bit, and then he'd kind of get freaked out a little bit, and he'd lean forward and kind of grab the pole, then he'd slide down. Well, the problem is, these poles, they had a lot of splinters, so you paid the price if you slid down. Now, eventually, this young man kind of figured out how to do it. It's kind of like if you've ever gone rappelling, it's that first step. I've done it. I don't ever want to do it again, to be honest with you. I'm a hiker, I'm not a climber. But rappelling, you just have to go backwards and you trust. Yikes. Yeah, I don't even like thinking about it. But see, it's kind of the same in the Christian life as God wants us to climb. But we have our own ideas of how we're going to do it. We're going to do it on our own strength, and we're going to, grab on instead of leaning back and trusting Him. The real growth is going to come in our life is when we trust Jesus to work within us. Just let that sink in for just a moment. What's a growth area for you right now? Give it to Jesus and ask Him to help you with it. And He might ask you to do something that's counterintuitive, to just lean back into Him, trust Him, and then ascend. That's what He wants for you. And He is committed that you're going to finish it because He doesn't have unfinished products. And so I'll close by reading that verse again from Philippians 1:6. If you've heard it before, it's probably one of your favorites. He who began a good work in you will bring it to completion at the day of Jesus Christ. Keep leaning back, resting in Him, trusting in Him, and ascending. God bless you. Have a great week.